Hi everyone, this is Shalu Kumar again from OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. I'm an experienced OSCE Nurse trainer for the NMC OSCE exam in UK and also the lead trainer for OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. I'm back with another video for you for your OSCE exam, NMC OSCE exam. So if you like my videos, please press the like button now and subscribe to my channel. It gives me a lot of positivity to keep making these videos for you, and my hope is that they're helping you to revise for your exam. So in today's video we are going to talk about what are the 5 most common fails in plotting news chart, because this is a very common fail in your exam. News charting is probably, if you look at it, overall fails probably will come at the top. Okay, top 1 or 2 things which people fail on in their NMC OSCE. So I have already done a video on how to plot your vitals on news chart in quite detail. Okay, so this is not about showing you how to plot everything on it. That video is already done, and I'm adding the description of I'm adding the link of the video to the description below. Okay, so go ahead and watch that before you watch this one. So this is all about, and this is the one just telling you what are the 5 common mistakes nurses make when they are plotting the news charting, which is the one of the most failed things in your OSCE is the news charting. Okay, so let's have a look at it. So you do know news chart, as you will know already, that it is for your vitals. You will be plotting your vitals on the news chart. You will be given a green pen in exam, so you will be plotting with a green pen, and you'll be doing the vitals on your actor, and then you'll be plotting all your vitals. You know, your blood pressure, heart rate, respiration, saturations, patient alertness level, and then temperature, and finding out the total news score, and then going ahead and writing your monitoring frequency for vital, whether you need to escalate to anybody senior in the team, and your initials. So that's how we do it. So let's look at the top 5 fails. This may seem a very simple things, but simple things fail you exam actually, because everybody concentrate on the most complex things when they're revising, but they forget, they just like for a few seconds they lose their concentration on simple things, and that becomes a fail. Okay, so let's have a look. The first one, as you can see on your screen, as you all know, on the top of the chart you need to add patient details. So patient name, date of birth, date, as in I have shown you on the screen in that format, which is day, month and year. And then date again into the first column available on the left. You need to put the date again into the little box. This time we don't need to write the year, but just the day/month, and then the time is whatever in your overview of history form they given you, patient history form. So they always tell you date is today, assume it is today and it's this time. So today means your exam date, and time will be whatever is on that front sheet of your patient history form. So make sure you're actually copying the details correctly and they're all filled in. Don't underestimate it. If the details of the patient is not on the chart, it's a critical fail. Okay, so make sure you have added things. So again, is patient name, is patient date of birth, date is date of your exam in that format, and then date again in the little box, and the time in the box below, in the first column on the left. Okay, so it's really important you do it. So number 2, did not complete the box for whether saturations are taken on air, A for air, or oxygen. As you can see on the screen, I plotted both for you. So saturation, the thing is, some nurses leave the blank. Okay, because if the patient is not wearing oxygen, they know it's on air, but they don't put it on the chart. They just think, oh, well, examiner will know it's on air because my patient is not wearing a mask. Now there is a special place in your chart, and it needs to be completed. If you do not complete it and just assume, your examiner is going to pass you because they can see the actor is not wearing any oxygen. Obviously the saturations you have just done are on room air. But no, you're thinking wrong. The examiner will fail you because there is a specific place to put this on the chart and you need to complete it. If you don't complete this section, it's a critical fail. So if your saturations are on air, as you can see I have done on your screen, put capital A. If your saturations are on oxygen, like I've given you example, your actor is wearing a nasal cannula or mask, in this case nasal cannula, you will ask your examiner what is the oxygen flow rate, what flow rate oxygen is running at, because actually the mask is not connected to, or nasal cannula is not connected to any oxygen in reality in your exam day, but you know your patient is wearing one, so you need to ask the examiner what's the flow rate, and you need to add that to your chart. As you can see, I have done 2 liter by nasal cannula N. So it's really important you correct it. So this has become a really big cause of fail in your exam. Either you leave a blank or you don't complete it correctly. Okay, so you need to do that. Number 3, did not plot alertness level with a dot. Okay, so alertness level in your disability part of the chart, D, is need to be plotted with a dot, not with A. Okay, so if you plot it with A, it's wrong. Okay, A is not for alertness. You need to plot the dot in the correct box. If your patient is alert, then put the dot in the alert box. Again, just to remind you again, even if you get, we only plot somebody confused on news if he's of acute onset. So for your Alzheimer's scenario, it's not acute onset. So it is a chronic condition. So for that purpose, your patient would still be plotted alert on the news chart. So okay, so plot your patient alert even if they got long-term dementia issue with Alzheimer. It's not acute case of confusion, so you will still plot the patient alert. So remember that. Okay, number 4, did not calculate correct news score, for example. So as you can see on your chart here, I plotted the score of 7, which is obviously wrong. Why? Because as you can see, if you count it from the top, 2 for respirations is correct, 2 for oxygen, because your patient is on oxygen. Anybody who is on oxygen will automatically score 2, so that's 4. And then what I did was, everything else was normal, but I got confused and I scored for the diastolic blood pressure. I counted the score. That's how I came up to 7, which is wrong, because on your chart it's saying only score for systolic blood pressure. You plot both, but you only give score to systolic. You do not give to score to diastolic blood pressure. So that's why my score is wrong. So it should have been 4, 2 for respiration, 2 for oxygen. But I came up with 7, which would be a mistake in exam. It would be critical fail. So remember these things. Very, very carefully count your score. So do not score for diastolic blood pressure, only score looking for blood pressure, only look at systolic, which is normal in this case. So my score is 4, not 7. So that's really important. And you could make mistake with blood pressure, you could make mistake with other parameters because you have not plotted them in the correct box, and that will give you wrong news score, or you just forgotten to add the score correctly. You in a rush because you're anxious, you just didn't add the score correctly for all the parameters. And be systematic. Start from the top, come back, come down, giving carefully scoring for everything. Okay, and your total score is really, really important. Okay, number 5, did not add correct monitoring frequency for vitals. So this has obviously, this is again a very, very common fail in your exam, that you need to understand the monitoring frequency as per news policy. I have seen a lot of nurses preparing, and whether they're working sometime in care home or nursing homes, and they kind of work on adapted news policy because it's no acute setting. But remember, you need to work with what is the acute setting policy of a, in the acute setting, and also like what is the recommendation by Royal College of Physicians, because news chart is done by Royal College of Physicians and the guidance comes from them, and nationally that's the guidance we follow, and that's what you need to follow in your exam. If you follow any other monitoring frequency, it's a critical fail. So again, as a reminder, if you see my other video which I have already already told you I've done a news charting video in more detail, so you can go and have a look at it. But for a quick refresher, I put the screen again on your on the screen again the policy. So if your score is 0, you just monitor routinely 12 hourly. If your score is between 1 and 4, you monitor 4 to 6 hourly. If your score is 3 in single parameter, it means your total score is still 4 or below, but out of that 4, 3 is in red area. Then you come down to 1 hourly monitoring. 5 and 6 is 1 hourly, 7 or more is continuous, and in your box on the chart you put C. Okay, so that's how you do monitoring frequency. And as you can see, escalation is there as well. So in the box you will put Y, but you do need to verbalize who will you escalate it to according to the new score. Okay, so that's really important. That is important part of your marking criteria, that you do new scoring, total score is correct, and then you are your monitoring frequency and escalation is correct. So it's not only just simply plotting your vitals, everything has to be correct on that chart. Okay, there is no mistakes allowed in news charting, or if you were doing GCS scenario, then GCS neuro observation chart charting, there is no mistakes allowed in exam. Okay, so you make sure you know how to do it correctly. Okay, so these were the top 5 things I wanted to point out to you in news charting. Like I said, go and watch another video of mine which I have done in detail on news charting. Okay, so I hope this will keep you on track for not making these mistakes, because they have been the common fails in news charting. And you like the video, it makes you a little bit more clearer what you need to do. So if you like my videos, please press the like button now and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can visit us on OSCE-training.com. Email us for our training. We provide all different training online, face-to-face, and just training for certain modules if you want to do only certain stations. So email us on OSCE-training@outlook.com. You should also check out our reviews on our Google advertisement page, see what nurses have been saying, and I will soon see you again for another NMC OSCE video. Bye for now.